Hey everyone, and welcome to this Small Town Source Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful message from Pastor Lawrence Ray of the Milagwa Gospel Chapel, which he delivered at the annual Good Friday Community Service. And what he does is offer this really unique way to understand the final hours of Jesus Christ, not just as some dusty historical event, but through a deeply personal, relational lens.
So what Pastor Ray is really asking us to do here is to kind of shift our perspective. Instead of just focusing on the doctrine of the crucifixion, he wants us to see it through Christ's own eyes, to try and understand how, even in the middle of unimaginable agony, he was still so intensely aware of and connected to every single person around him.
Okay, so to really get a feel for just how heavy these relationships were, we've got to set the scene. The whole thing unfolds over 6 brutal hours. At 9 a.m., the crucifixion starts. By noon, this supernatural darkness just covers everything for 3 hours, and then at 3 p.m., it's over. And it's inside this incredibly tight, intense window of time that all of these really profound interactions happen.
And this is what's so interesting. Who does he connect with first? It's not his followers, it's not his family, no, it's his enemies, the very people who are orchestrating his death and the outcasts who are dying right alongside him. And this is where Pastor Ray really starts to unpack the relational heart of Christ on that cross.
I mean, just think about this for a second. His very first words from the cross are a prayer for forgiveness. And it's aimed at the soldiers who just hammered nails through his hands and feet, and for the crowd that's screaming at him. He looks at all of his tormentors, and he sees people who are just lost, confused, acting against their own conscience.
All right, so next up, we see this incredible contrast play out. You've got two criminals in the exact same terrible situation. One guy is basically demanding a rescue, right? He's challenging Jesus. If you're really who you say you are, then save yourself and us. But the other guy, he makes this humble plea. He acknowledges he's guilty and just asks to be remembered.
And Jesus' response to that humble plea, it's immediate, it's absolute. It's a promise of hope and inclusion, given at the very last possible moment. And Pastor Ray really highlights this, pointing out how it shows that Christ's grace reaches out to, well, the worst of people, even the most hopeless outcasts, if they just turn to him.
So after extending this incredible grace to his enemies, Jesus' focus then shifts. It narrows to those closest to him. His attention turns to something incredibly practical and human, the needs of his grieving mother, Mary.
I mean, get this. Even while he's hanging on a cross in agony, he's thinking about the future. He knows his mom is going to need support and care after he's gone. So in this act of just incredible love, he actually creates a new family bond right there at the foot of the cross, just to make sure she won't be alone.
And this is a huge point in Pastor Ray's message. This act becomes a model for the church. By putting Mary in John's care and John in Mary's care, he's not just solving a practical problem, he's showing us that his followers are supposed to be a real family, a unified group that actually cares for each other's needs.
Okay, so we've seen his relationship with his enemies, with his family, and now the focus shifts to the most profound relationship of all, the one between Jesus the Son and God the Father. And, well, this leads us to the darkest and, honestly, the most difficult moment of the entire story.
Now, this is a cry that has troubled people for centuries. But Pastor Ray explains that this isn't a moment of doubt. Not at all. It's this raw, gut-wrenching expression of the spiritual reality of what was happening as Jesus took on the full weight of humanity's separation from God.
You see, in that moment, Jesus was literally taking on himself the sin of all humanity. And because God is perfectly holy and, well, can't look on sin, there had to be this real, actual, temporary separation. He was feeling the full penalty for our sin, which is being alienated from God. But then, right after that cry of ultimate anguish, comes a cry of ultimate triumph. This is the pivot. This is the turning point. All that suffering has achieved its purpose, and the mission is about to be declared a complete success.
3 simple words. It is finished. And with that, the work is declared complete. And let's be super clear here. This isn't a cry of defeat, like I'm done for. No, this is a shout of victory, a declaration of accomplishment. The debt, paid in full. The job is done.
And Pastor Ray makes a powerful argument here. He says that for any Christian, this is maybe the most important statement you could ever know for your relationship with God. And why is that? Because everything
Everything hinges on this one fact. The work is already done. We don't have to add to it. We can't earn it.
So what does that actually mean for us? Well, the implications are just profound. It means your sin is paid for, period. Believers will never ever be held to account for it by God. He has put it completely behind his back. And, as Pastor Ray points out, this isn't some free pass to go and sin, it's the exact opposite. It's the single greatest reason to live a life overflowing with gratitude and love.
Okay, so where does all of this lead us? It leads to the final, crucial takeaway from Pastor Ray's message. The cross isn't just some historical event you study in a book. It's a real, present-day, personal invitation into a relationship.
When you really look at Jesus on the cross, you're seeing his heart completely on display. You see selfless love for his enemies. You see his plan for a unified family that takes care of each other. And you see an active ministry that doesn't stop, even in his final moments. He's serving his people right up to the very end.
And that brings us to where Pastor Ray concluded his message. When we try to see the cross through Christ's eyes, we see so much more than just an execution. We see these incredible, profound relationships playing out. So the final question he leaves us with, and the one we'll leave with you, isn't just about what happened 2,000 years ago. It's about what this incredible display of relational love means for you, right here, today.